Sharonda Booz, who was awarded temporary custody of the child by the court back in October 2022, and we're here for a periodic review of his placement and make sure everything is okay. He's 10 years old and living with grandma. His guardian ad litem attorney for the case, Miss Rock, is present, and we're waiting on young Mr. Do you pronounce it Booz or Booze?
Booze, like alcohol on
Okay,
the
Booze. Okay.
Jameer, come on, baby.
That's okay. We don't want any accidents because you're hurrying him along. So.
No, he likes Taco Bell.
Yeah. Well,
Gross.
it doesn't like me. So
it doesn't like me either. Sit right here. I remember saying him before. Huh? That's the same judge from last time. There you go.
Why you look bigger than me?
Because I am bigger than you.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
You're in a smaller chair too. You want to say hello? You want to say hello?
All right, but I was gonna let him do the honors.
Well, you're late. He's been here. So you're not listening. See that right there?
My mic is muted. How are you, Jameer?
Good.
All right. You were complaining that I look bigger. It's a year later. I've grown. Aren't you still growing?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I'm still growing.
Okay.
Go ahead. Talk to him, Jameer. Yes, Jameer. We online.
So what am I supposed to say?
He's going to ask you
I'm
questions.
going to ask you some questions in a minute. All right. Ms. Booz, how are things going with Jameer?
We have some difficulties, but we're getting better. We're learning each other more and more every day. He's
Okay.
growing. I'm dealing with puberty, school, life. It's just everyday stuff.
You have my sympathies.
Thank you.
Everyday stuff.
Beg your pardon?
Everyday stuff. You got something else to say? Say it.
Sounds like every hour.
That doesn't have anything to do with it. That doesn't have anything to do with this case. Your EBDS, we will discuss that with the
What is that
counsel.
EBDS? I've been trying to figure out.
Emotional behavior disorder. You know how you cry sometimes all the time. You get angry, telling me I don't understand when I tell you I'm trying, but you got to explain it to me better, and I can when you can't. That's why we're going to go get more counseling so that we can find somebody that can help you. Explain it to me and what I need to do to make your life easier, because that's what I'm here for.
That's what I was getting ready to ask you about, Ms. Booz. How's he doing in school? And it sounds like he's got some educational issues that he needs assistance with. Does he have an IEP or 504 plan or both?
He has an IEP that we're working on. The reason I left him in in DeKalb County was because of the village that I have with the teachers, and they really care about his upbringing, his education, and stuff like that. So I left him there. Next year we will go to Henry County for middle school.
Okay. All right.
I'm not gonna go there.
Since I saw you back last year, had Ms. Booz, and I ask everybody this, so don't take offense. Have you been in any trouble with the law, or has defects come out to check on how you're taking care of Jameer or any other minor child?
No, sir.
Okay, good. Jameer, did you get along with your grandma okay?
He talking to you. What I told you is either yes or no. Are you going to be saying yes, ma'am, no, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you like living with your grandmother?
What did I just tell
I
you?
mean, yes.
All right. Does she feed you?
Yes.
What is your favorite meal that your grandmother prepares?
I don't have one.
I'm sorry, did you say I don't have one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, tell me the last meal that you had that you enjoyed that she prepared.
What is it that I cooked last that you like?
I see.
Nothing. You don't like my cooking?
I never say it's bad. It's just I eat it.
It's not Taco Bell, right?
No, I just eat it.
I remember that next time I stand over a hot stove.
I was going to say, I think I just find the stuff that you can throw a box in a microwave and pull it out of the box and put it on the table.
No, he's not gonna eat that either. Uh-oh. I'm sorry. There you go. You can see that. I look like that.
Jameer, when I was your age, we used to beg to get to go to my grandmother's and eat because she was the best cook. And my mother was a good cook, but she didn't hold a candle to my grandmother. That's what grandmas do best, is cook. They learned how to cook the right way. And hopefully one day you'll learn to appreciate how good a cook she is. Because there may be a day if you don't show your appreciation, she may decide that you can eat something out of a can, like canned salmon, and make your own salmon patties. I was thinking of some of the stuff that I didn't care for as a
I
kid.
don't like salmon patties either, so he doesn't have to worry about that. We can eat salmon, but not the patties.
What's wrong with the patties?
What's your favorite subject in school, Jameer?
None of them.
Well, what's your closest
Okay,
to
science. All right, science. I'll say that's
You like science, okay? That's good.
Stop pulling the hair.
Do you make better grades in science because you like it?
no.
What do you make your best grades in?
I'm not sure.
Reading and comprehension.
What's the last-
Reading and comprehension.
Okay, what's the last book you read?
Nothing.
Where's your Spider-Man book we were reading?
When?
The thick one. The one we just put the cover. Remember we started reading that? You read a page, I read a page.
You didn't even read that page with me. I read it to you.
You read it to well, that's what I want you to do. Read it to me. That way you understand. I can read.
So you like
You're trying to
Spider-Man?
make sense. Love Spider-Man.
No, I don't love Spider-Man. Okay, I like Spider-Man.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Was it a hardbound book or a comic book or what?
It's a hardback.
Yeah.
You want to go get it and show it to him? Go get it. It's on your bed.
Okay.
Go get it. Show it to him. I saw it on your bunk, on your top bunk.
It was sitting on top of my PlayStation.
Oh, I'm sorry. See, show him. This is the book you were reading.
Jason Reynolds, something suspended. I can't read the stuff. It's darker print and it's hard to read.
It's
Why's my head
Miles
so-
Morales.
Oh, okay. Suspended. And there's a picture. Looks like Spider-Man up in the air or something.
Yes, it is.
Climbing
He
the
he's
Statue of
suspended.
Liberty?
Sir?
Was he climbing the Statue of Liberty?
upside
No,
down.
he's upside down. Have you ever seen
Oh.
Spider-Man Into the Verse? It's like a comic.
I saw the first movie, I
Oh.
think, but I don't remember what it was about. But
Oh,
that was
you
years
missed the whole. This one is about Miles Morales. He's a Hispanic Black young man that becomes Spider-Man.
okay. Good.
So it's a new universe and a new world with different.
Jameer, you got to be in the hearing with us. Come on back.
Jameer, he wants you to come on back. That's that attention deficit. Sit down. You have got to stay with me, son.
You know why I
This
walked
is
out,
about
right?
you. Why?
I'm pretty sure you know why I walked out.
No, I don't. But come on, you got to still talk to him, Jameer. You have
make
to.
it seem, but I'm mature now. I don't want to make it seem like I'm still like a 5-year-old liking Spider-Man.
That's okay that you like Spider-Man. There's grown people that like Spider-Man.
Like really?
So come on, talk to him.
All I was
This is
interested
about
in,
me.
Jameer, is that you're exercising your brain by reading and exploring and thinking, and those are good. It doesn't matter to me what you read. If you,
No, he thinks too much. That's one of our problems. He thinks
it
all the
helps.
time.
It helps to read things. It makes it easier to read when you're reading something that interests you. And if Spider-Man interests you, more power to you. If it doesn't, find
Really
something
something.
else to read. What's the last book you had to read for school?
Honestly, just science books.
Science books, okay. Miss Schrock, do you have any questions?
Miss Booth, Jameer he's having visitation with his father every other weekend. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am. His father just walked out the door.
Okay. And does he visit? Do those weekend visits, do they occur in your home or do they occur in the father's home?
In his father's home or at my home, he comes by whenever. He doesn't have any restrictions on him as far as seeing his son, nor does his mother. Anytime they call me, he is available. If we don't
How
have
often
tennis.
Yeah, okay. And how often is he visiting with his mother?
Yeah, don't do that. About How often you see your mom? About once a month, every 3 months? What, how long?
Once,
Once a
probably
month,
no, probably like 1 to 2 weeks.
every 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Well, she's gotten better. It was like every 3 months.
Do you have an address for her that we can let her know the next time we have a hearing?
I can get it from her. She works at T-Mobile, so she's usually Verizon. Okay, Jimmy, I'm sorry, but she's usually at work this time. I can try. I will make an effort.
Well, I'm assuming that she's still content with you doing the heavy lifting with him living with you full time.
She just got a place of her own, and she was talking about him coming to visit her on the weekends or every other weekend as well.
Where does she live? In McDonough or some other town?
She lives in Conyers now.
Oh, Conyers. Okay. That's 30, 40 minutes. That's not too. Anything you need to tell me about or want to tell me about, Jameer?
You know,
Are you content with your current living arrangements, living with your grandmother and visiting your dad and your mom? Does that still work for you?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
We have to tape record what you say, and if you say, it doesn't always translate. We don't know. When we play the tape back, we don't know what you said.
So you gotta say yes or no. That's
And
all.
there's something about the respectful nature of saying yes and no instead of yeah, that kind of
Thank you.
stuff.
That's what I keep trying to tell you. It's out of respect. It's not nice to say and I don't talk to you like that.
Sometimes,
I say yes, Jameer, when you call my name. That's Jameer.
but sometimes you be saying when I come up with something that you don't want.
Well, it might be you need to leave it alone.
Right. Well, it sounds like things are going well, and I'm going to leave things like they are and come back and see you in 2 years, and you'll be a full-blown teenager.
Oh, wow.
I
Yes, sir.
have pity on your grandmother. So I want
Yes,
you to prove me wrong, Jameer. I want you to be, when I see you next time, you will be 12.
And tell him what we're working on. What we're working on in tennis. I'm going to the US Open, right?
Are you a tennis player?
Yeah.
He said he asked you a question.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Do you play at the school? Does your school have a tennis team? They may not in elementary school, but junior high and high school. I know high schools have tennis teams, very competitive.
Tell him who you play with. Doc's Tennis.
Doc's Tennis.
Dr. Fields, who used to be the superintendent of Henry County Schools,
Uh-huh.
runs a nonprofit called Doc's Tennis. And he also helps me work with him as far as the IEP and the attitude
Great.
adjustment and trying to just get him to be less negative, because he can be negative sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's
So
good.
they work on that, but he's doing well.
Things I say to show him, he'll get a heart attack.
And we're having our first tennis match on October the 21st.
Great. Well, let me ask you this. Are you any good at it? Jameer,
Thank you.
are you
Tell
any
me about
good
your
at tennis?
We have come on and talk. Tell him. See, now you want to get shy. And you're good at tennis. Tell him about your backhand and the way you serve. Come on. Wow. See, he doesn't like it when I talk about him in a
Oh, he
positive
does. He just wants to pretend like he doesn't, but everybody
Is
likes
that
to
what
be
it
bragged
is?
on.
Yeah, he's doing excellent in tennis. Tennis is one of the areas we have
Listen,
he
you can
gives
get
it 110%.
you can get a college scholarship to go play tennis at a college.
Yes, he can. I keep telling him.
All right. I'm going to leave you alone.
Oh, I'm fine.
Huh?
Oh no, I'm fine. I think we gotta go. No, we have plenty of time out.
We have time before practice. You got a whole hour.
All right. I'm going to let you go. Thank you for visiting with me. I'm glad things are going well, and we'll leave things just like they are. If Ms. Booz, you move between now and the 2 years, which is October the 7th, 2025 at 1 o'clock on Zoom. Did you mark this for Zoom?
No, I did not.
Yes, sure. It's fine with me.
You want to come to the courthouse in person?
I can, whatever is best for you.
Okay, well, we'll just leave it live then. We'll have and this young man can bring his tennis racket and show me how he serves. Pretend, because I don't have room in here.
Okay.
But good luck in your tennis pursuits.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what was the date of the next hearing?
October 7th, 2025 at 1 o'clock. If anything comes up that you need, if the parents want to be heard about changing their visits or asking for him to come spend more time or whatever, and y'all can't agree on it, then you can write me a letter and we'll put it on the calendar, and I'll have to hear from every side, and then I'll decide. Okay.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'll leave it like y'all working things out now, which is great.
I try.
All right. And no spoiling your grandson. Okay.
Too late.
Too late. I kind of suspected a little bit of that.
It's too late. He's ruined. I'm just gonna have to contain it and make sure he grows up to be a level-headed young man. Keep that attitude right.
Has he already put in his Christmas requests?
Yes, sir. We got the Amazon book yesterday, and he put
Oh,
some
goodness.
stickers by some stuff.
Well, when I was his age, it was the Sears catalog. Now it's the
I know.
Amazon. I don't get an Amazon catalog. At least I don't remember ever seeing one. I know how to shop on Amazon. My checking
wife
account
probably
sends me
gets
every month.
Your
Yeah.
wife probably gets it.
Oh, maybe so. She had me up at 6 o'clock this morning, giving me a list of stuff I needed to order off Amazon while she waited to make sure I did it.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, good to see y'all. I'm glad things are going well. Jameer, good luck with school and life, and especially with your tennis. I like to see young men and ladies have something that they're really motivated to do and interested in doing. And that's good. It's very positive and healthy. Okay. But good luck to you and all the other things you're doing as well. I'll see y'all in 2 years.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Somebody named Talon Teague has not got their camera turned on. They need to turn it on.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to turn it on now.
Are you Joseph Teague, the father?
Yes, sir.
Are you married to the mother?
No, sir.
Were you at the last hearing?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because you told me you were going to be at your sister's address until the end of August. So do you have a new address?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me get your camera on and then we'll talk. I'll be talking to the other people while you're getting that fixed.
All right, I got to figure.
So what's your new address?
My new.
All right. They tried to serve you with the legal papers about court, and they said you weren't at the address, which the address
Was it a subpoena?
Yes. Well, it was a summons in the lawsuit that's been filed against you in this case, called a dependency petition. So somebody lied and told the police you weren't there when you were?
Not that I know of.
Well, why would they tell the police does not stay at this address? That's what the officer wrote on September the 9th when they went to give you your legal papers.
Mm,
Well, I hate to tell you, but they wouldn't have been the first people to lie to the police about whether somebody lived at an address or not. They didn't come to arrest you. They just came to hand you some papers to tell you when court was, and which you found out anyway.
I wasn't there.
So you don't live there?
I didn't say I didn't live there.
They said you do not stay at that address. They didn't say you weren't there at that particular minute. If they had said, Cassidy lives here, but she's gone to work or she's gone to Walmart to buy something, they could have left the papers with her, that person, and that would be service on you because you live there. But they didn't say that. So if that's not your address, what is your address?
That's my address.
Okay. Then why would whoever else lives there tell the police you didn't live there?
Because my stepmom doesn't like me over there, so that's what she told me.
So you live with your stepmom who doesn't like you living there. So
No, I live with my dad at my dad's house,
okay.
and his
They didn't ask
girlfriend
your
doesn't like
stepmom
me
whether
there.
you lived there. They asked whoever came to the door. Was that your dad's stepmom? Is that the stepmom you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
So she gets outvoted by dad and lets you live there over her objection.
Yes.
Okay, now I got the picture. All right. Did you get to talk to Ms. Brinson?
No, sir.
Okay, we appointed a lawyer for you thinking we would have had you served since they told us your address, but you don't. So she hasn't been able to talk to you. She hasn't had any way of getting in touch with you. So are you contesting these allegations about why your aunt needs to have temporary custody of the child?
No, sir.
I can't hear you if you answer.
No, sir.
You need to wake up. I don't know what's wrong with you, except,
I'm awake.
well, number one, you're not even in the picture. I see the top inch and a half of your head. Move your camera where I can see you, please. The whole head. What time did you get up this morning?
10 o'clock?
Have you been back to sleep since 10 o'clock? It's now 3:22.
No.
Are you employed?
No.
Well, getting back to my original question you never answered, are you contesting the allegations that Ms. Bice filed that says she needs to temporarily take care of your child?
No.
So you're agreeing to let her have temporary custody?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, if with respect to any allegations beyond temporary custody, like any details or specifics, if I could have the opportunity to talk to my client and make sure she understands what all is alleged.
Okay. All right, I'll put, well, I forgot how, it's been so long, but I'll let the clerk put you in. Well, let me make sure. Ms. Davis, we had appointed an attorney thinking you would be with us and you would have had time to talk to her, which that hasn't happened. So we have a procedure on Zoom that you can meet privately with your lawyer or with anybody. It doesn't have to be a lawyer, but in this case, it is to talk about your case on Zoom, but where we can't, the rest of us on the Zoom call can't hear y'all talking. Are you interested in talking to the lawyer that was assigned?
Yes, sir.
Her name is Rachel Brinson. She's a lawyer here in McDonough.
Yes, sir.
And since you are unemployed, unless you won the lottery recently, you would be eligible to have her at county expense, at least for the time being. Okay, well, we're gonna put you in there. Now this isn't for y'all to talk for the rest of the afternoon because I've got another case at 4 o'clock. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do pretty quickly. Okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Ms. Flowers, do you work with DFACS?
Yes, I do. I'm the family preservation case manager for the case right now.
Is Ms. Blackman your supervisor?
Yes, sir.
Is she as mean as she used to be, or is she softened up some?
No, she's fine.
Okay. All right. Well, just be at ease. Mr. Teague, well, I don't want to, all I'm going to ask you, but until they all get back is, are you married to the mother?
No, sir.
Have you filed a legitimation action to have the child declared your legal child?
No, sir, not yet. I need help with that whole process.
Well, that's what lawyers are for. Get you one.
I don't think I could afford a lawyer.
Do you work?
Yes, sir.
Where do you work?
I work at Zaxby's in Commerce right now, but I'm looking for a different job.
Are you from Henry County?
No, sir. I'm from Griffin. I'm from
Okay.
Griffin, Georgia.
Well, how did you get all the way to Commerce from Griffin?
I just got out of jail 2 months ago, and I was trying to do better. And I'm trying to better myself, so I moved in with one of my friends up here in Commerce, so I could stay away from Griffin and stay away from that lifestyle that I was leading and living for my son.
Okay. Well, is this your first child?
Yes, sir.
Have you had paternity tests to prove that you are biologically the father?
Yes, sir.
You did? Did you do it
Yes, sir.
through a certified lab, or did you get one of those kits from the drugstore?
I did it through DFACS.
Okay. So Ms. Flowers helped you do that?
It was a white lady named Rachel, I'm pretty
It-
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
it was Miss White and Miss Rachel from DFACS.
Ms. Flowers, did the test come back that he is 99.99% probability to be the biological father?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Well, you're fortunate to live in the only state in the country that says that you don't have any rights to your child to visit or custody or anything until you've legitimated an illegitimate child. So you've got some work to do.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing at Zaxby's? A minimum wage, cooking or cleaning up or?
No, sir. I make $13 an hour, and I'm training to be a manager right now.
Okay. You work 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we'll talk further about your situation.
Your Honor, we can also provide him the information for the fatherhood program. They help the parents or the fathers with legitimation.
Mm-hmm. They'll get him a lawyer to do it for him?
Yes, they will file for him.
Where is this program? Y'all never told me about this before.
It's housed out of DeKalb County, but they cover about 5 counties currently.
Are these people with it, Georgia Legal Services or Atlanta Legal Aid, or is it a different group?
It's a different group. They just work with fathers.
Okay.
Your Honor, we had the opportunity to talk, at this point, Ms. Davis would consent to Ms. Spice having temporary custody. She is open to any services that DFACS might be willing to provide, any rehab, inpatient, outpatient, any of that, with the objective of being able to reunite with her child. So that's her current position.
Has she ever been to residential drug rehab before, Ms. Davis?
No,
Have you ever been in outpatient rehab or drug treatment?
no, sir.
Have you ever been to Celebrate Recovery or NAAA community support meeting?
No, sir.
Have you graduated from high school? My notes say you're 17. Somebody's dog needs to get out or mute your mic, one of the two.
No, sir.
What drug do you have a problem with?
Methamphetamine.
Okay. Well, if you don't already know this, you're awfully young to be getting involved with such a dangerous, highly addictive drug. And I know it's out there, and I know it's popular with young people, but it's also popular with old people and people in between. It's a quick high, but when he gives you that quick high, it hooks the dickens out of you. And majority of people that use it don't use it one time. Mr. Teague, are you in the same boat? So I can be talking to both of you at the same time?
No, sir. I used to do it, but I've been sober over a year.
Quit. Okay. So it can be done. But let me tell you.
But I was only sober because I went to jail. If I never went to jail, I would have never got sober.
Yeah. Well, it is very hard to get away from it and stay away from it. And I don't tell you that to discourage you. I tell you that to encourage you, that you take advantage of every opportunity you get, Ms. Davis and Mr. Teague, to better yourself by changing who you hang out with, changing where you hang out with, where and what you do with your time. It has a highly addictive property where you can't always control. Even if you're not around the people that are a bad influence, you have physical urges to use that drug. And you both have your own triggers that will increase the urge, whether it's anxiety, whether it's things not going well at home, whether it's arguing with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or whatever, whether it's stress at your job or whatever. And that's what treatment is, at least in part, designed to do, to help you identify when you get those urges so you can avoid those situations. But the relapse rate, that means getting clean and then getting back on the drug, is incredibly high. Over a third of the people that get clean relapse and reuse and get back in have problems again. So that just tells you how dangerous it is and how hard you're going to have to work to get away from it. You got a baby here that if you keep going down that path, you're fortunate you got family members who are willing to take care of your child in the interim. But what's going on if you can't figure it out, because you're both kids, really. is that your kid is bonding with them. Your child is not bonding with you. You're just somebody who comes 2 or 3 times a week and says, hey, and bounces you on the leg and then leaves and may come back the next day, may not. And like I said, you're still kids, but if you want to be a parent, you got to grow up real fast because you cannot be a parent strung out on meth. Okay. And if you hadn't already, suspect you've already figured that out. Because I suspect from watching Ms. Davis during the course of this hearing, she has not made it to the place where Mr. Teague is in terms of sobriety, but that didn't mean that, Mr. Teague, I'm not trying to give you the big head because you could fall back just like she is right now. And she has not been away from it for very long. And she probably needs some help, and there are residential treatment programs that will help you. But listen, it's not like taking 2 weeks worth of antibiotics and suddenly you're cured and you never do it again. You got to live a different lifestyle and change everything about what you've been doing. And you got to grow up in a hurry. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So, the DFACS will be glad to make referrals, help you find places that will take you. Do either one of you have any diagnosed mental health issues? Bipolar, depression?
I have.
So severe social anxiety?
I was diagnosed with depression when I was younger, but like I don't really suffer with it anymore.
Okay. How about you, Ms. Davis?
No, sir.
Okay. And the reason I ask that is most of the residential drug rehab facilities will ask because they're generally not set up. We have a lot of people in our community, and not just here, everywhere, that have serious drug problems, but who also have serious mental health problems. Those are what are called co-occurring disorders. And a lot of the run-of-the-mill residential drug treatment programs are not equipped to handle somebody who also has active mental health problems where they need to have medication managed and stuff like that. So they will, if you tell them you have, and I'm not telling you to lie, don't do that. But if you have a diagnosed mental health condition, that will make it less likely that they will accept you into a traditional drug rehab program. There are a few drug programs who do take co-occurring mental health issues as long as they're not real serious. Some like schizophrenics and some who can be really ill do not fit into those type programs, and they don't generally take them. Okay, so the department can give you referrals, can tell you where to go, can drug screen you, but they can't get clean for you. They got it. You've got to do the grunt work, and you've got to want to do the grunt work. Okay, that goes for both. I don't know. Have either one of them had a drug assessment? Ms. Flowers?
Not recently.
When you say not recently, how long have you been working with them?
It's been a while since I was and got to the DFACS office.
Your Honor, she has not cooperated with the agency at all. We've made attempts to meet with her. She's made appointments to come into the agency. I think it was 9/20. She didn't show up. We can't communicate with her because she has not provided a phone number. So, and every time Ms. Flowers go out to the home, she's never there.
Yeah.
So we have no way of contacting her.
Well, that's got to change, Ms. Davis. And I hope you tell me you're motivated to get help. And that's the first step. If they can't find you, listen, they got tons of people they're trying to help. They just move on to the next one. They're not going to sit on your front step and wait for you to come home.
They have not came out to my house. No, I haven't seen them come to my house.
Wait a minute. You're not always there. You weren't there the day the sheriff came out and handed you the paper, tried to hand you the papers. So don't sit there like you're there 24/7. You're not.
I'm not saying I am, but how do they know?
They know they've come out and can't find you. They know they've called whatever number you gave them and you don't answer. So give them a phone number right now that is dependable, that they can reach you, and it's not going to get turned off tomorrow for not paying the bill.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Teague, does Ms. Flowers have your current address? I mean, phone number and address?
No, sir. When I talked to DFACS about a drug assessment, because when I was locked up, they came and drug tested me, and they told me that whenever I get out and I meet up with DFACS, they're going to give me a drug assessment. And I talked, and about a week after I got locked up, around August, a week after I got out, they told me in August, I did the drug assessment over the phone, and she told me that I've been sober long enough and that she didn't think I needed to go through any programs.
Who is she?
I don't remember her name. It was so long ago, but I did
I'd be
do
willing
an
to bet
assessment.
that was whoever they assigned as an assessor. I don't think that was Miss Flowers, was it? Miss Flowers,
No,
was that you?
No, sir, it wasn't Miss Flowers.
Well,
Is it Rachel?
I know that it was Miss Rachel had something to do with it.
well, during COVID, that people were doing assessments over the phone or over Zoom, but I don't know. I mean, we're sort of in between where some providers are doing stuff live and some are still doing it on Zoom. If he hasn't, do you have record of him having an assessment, Ms. Flowers?
I believe so.
I couldn't hear you.
No, I said I believe so. I do have his assessment completed. Yes, he does have a substance abuse assessment.
And it recommended he didn't need anything? Mr. T, do you have somebody else there with you?
No, sir.
Well, you're smiling like a Cheshire cat, like somebody's.
I'm sorry. I was thinking about something. I'm sorry.
Really, anything we've talked about that I don't find anything to be humorous where you would be smiling and giggling. But so I thought maybe you had some distraction there.
No, sir.
Okay.
So it does recommend that he should be conducted several times per month at the onset of him being involved with defects and out of jail.
That he be what? Drug screened?
Yeah, drug screen should be conducted several times per month at the onset of him being involved with defects and out of jail.
So has he been drug screened several times a month?
No, sir.
Because it's kind of hard for them to drug screen you when you move to Commerce. That's quite a hike from Henry County.
Yes, sir.
I don't know if they have a provider that can hook up with you in Commerce or not. They have some providers that have contracts for the whole state, so they may have somebody in that works for that company over in that area that they could hook up with. But what we have trouble with is people say, I want to be drug screened, and then when they go to drug screen them, they can't ever find them. They won't call back, or they go to the door and nobody comes to the door, and they're just like the deputy who comes out with the papers. They're not going to sit on your front stoop and hang out and wait for you to show up. If you're not there, they don't get to screen you. Then we don't have anything showing you're staying clean or not. So before we get off this call, Mr. Teague, you need to make sure Ms. Flowers has your current phone number. You gave me your address. I think we got to talking to Mr. Teague, Ms. Davis, and I don't think I ever got your phone number. So you ready to give it to Ms. Flowers?
Yes.
So there's no reason that phone should be disconnected or not answered, right?
No.
So when Ms. Flowers calls to make an appointment to check on you and come see you and come have the drug screener come by and get you to pee in the cup, you'll say, I'll be right here waiting on you. Or if they call you and say, come into the office, do you have transportation?
Yes, sir.
You drive yourself or you have somebody who will drive you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is your dad making you do anything around the house to pay for your room and board? You're not awake enough to do anything, I don't believe.
Who, me? I've been crying. That's why my eyes look like this.
Okay, well, your eyes are definitely something, but I'd like to think it's just crying, but it's probably a little more. But you need to stay. Well, we're going to come back and check on things, I'd say in 2 or 3 months. And let me tell you what's going to happen that I don't have a lot of control over and wouldn't have any inclination to have any more control over. And that is when we come back in 3 months, if you have been as unavailable as they are reporting that you've been up until now, they're not going to have a thing to tell me, because they will have closed their file and moved on to other people because they don't have time. You know, if you've just told us that you and your lawyer have told us that you acknowledge that you've got some issues that you need to address sooner than later to be in your child's life, hopefully as a full-time mom. Okay. So if 90 days if they can't find you but one time and you haven't done anything, if they haven't already closed your file, they're going to be begging me to close your file. And where are we? We're not any further along than we are today, October the 3rd. And we will be in January, right after the first of the year when we come back. Okay? So both of you need to cooperate with DFACS, submit to drug screens, abstain from using any controlled substances, anything you don't have a prescription for. Do either of you take any prescription meds? Neither one of you. Answer
No, sir.
because we're tape recording what
No,
we're
sir.
saying.
No, sir.
No,
No
sir.
meds. Okay. So don't come back and tell me you flunked a drug test because you were taking some kind of cough medicine or that you were taking female pills or whatever it is. There's all kinds of crap on the internet saying people can have false positives on drug screens, and most of it's a bunch of hooey. But don't waste your breath with me about any of that stuff. If you test positive, own up to what you used and let's move on and deal with it. Okay. Hopefully you won't test positive. Hopefully you've gotten clean. I just, how old are you, Mr. Teague?
I'm 20.
Okay. And Mom, you're 17 or going on your, or have you turned 18 yet?
I'll be 18 this year or
Okay.
next year.
Are either of you still in school? I assume not, Mr. Teague, if
No,
you
sir.
moved up to Commerce. Did you graduate from high school, Mr. Teague?
Yes, sir.
Have you finished, have you quit school, Ms. Davis?
I'm working on going to get my GED.
If
Trying
you're not
to.
going to work, make you get your GED. If you don't get a job, you should be able to do both if you stay sober. And you need, listen, you cannot compete for a job that's worth a toot if you don't have a GED. Most places won't even talk to you. They won't even look at your application. Okay? Now you can go out there and throw pine straw and do stuff with a lawn maintenance crew. They don't care about high school diplomas. Are you able to do that kind of work? Man,
Yes.
you can do that? Well, go get you a job then. They're looking for help. But they start long before 10 o'clock when you get up. Anybody have any questions for Mom or Dad or Ms. Flowers or the temporary custodians?
Yes, sir, I do. Where do we stand and how do we move on from this? And what do me and Tyler need to help the parents with to get the baby back?
Well, as where you stand is that you've applied to be the temporary custodians. I gave you temporary custody last time until we could get Mom served. I'm taking her announcements today. She's acknowledged service, even though she didn't get legally served, but she's here. So she's under the jurisdiction of the court, as is Dad. You have temporary custody continued in you. They are to cooperate with DFACS and remain drug-free, submit to drug screens, and participate in any treatment up to and including residential treatment if recommended. I'm coming back in 3 months just so they don't forget about me and I don't forget about them to see what progress they've made. When people have been using drugs and they temporarily lose custody of the child, if this were a DFACS case, they're supposed to establish sobriety for 12 months before I can return their child to them at a minimum. Sometimes things work out a little different, and sometimes we come in a little below that. Sometimes they don't ever get them back. Sometimes they can't ever establish sobriety. And they can't establish sobriety if we can't find them and drug screen them, because that's the only way you can show sobriety. Coming in and telling me, I've been clean. I appreciate you telling me that, Mr. Teague, but you're telling me I've been clean since I got out of jail. I want to believe that, but I need something besides that. I need some clean drug screens too. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Same goes for Mom.
Yes,
I
sir.
see that baby. I can't believe that y'all aren't jumping over every hoop to get to that kid sooner than later.
I've been trying.
Well, I'm not saying you're not. I'm just saying now's the time to buckle down, both of you. Okay? Now, having said that, and I've already alluded to the fact you're both kids and you want to be kids some days. You want to have fun with your buddies or your girlfriends or whatever. Well, depending on what kind of fun, you know where that can go. But the problem is you made this baby, you brought this baby into the world. So you have to give up some of your wants, personal wants, for the fast lane and the fun life that goes with being a late teen, early 20-year-old person. Okay. If you're going to be a parent, you can't do both. Not do it right.
Yes, sir.
Now, you can be a part-time parent and let your relatives raise your kids and go see them on the weekends. If your relatives are amenable to doing that, some relatives get tired of doing it and they say, here, give them to the state. I'm tired of it. I want to have my own life. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like y'all are both getting to see the child. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I never deny both of them of seeing this
They,
child.
they come to your house and see them at your house.
Well, we meet up in like public places or we go to
Okay.
the park.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So they don't come to your house.
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, Talon does because he's my little brother.
Okay.
But yeah, I go meet Cass or I go pick her up, or her mom brings her to see the baby.
Okay.
But yeah, we don't deny them seeing the baby ever.
All right.
Anybody
That's
who
good.
wants to be a part of his life.
We still let the
please,
grandparents see them.
We
We
don't
we
deny
try to do what's best for the baby for both of them because we want both of them to be in their lives and to be good parents. And
Sure.
that's why we try to work with them as much as we can.
Okay. That's good.
But we will do
But
what
you're
we-
very
what we-
fortunate to have relatives like that, because sometimes I get these cases and the relatives don't want the parents to be around. They don't trust them. They don't like them. And it's hard as humans not to be judgmental sometimes, but we can't be. And y'all got yourselves involved in some very serious stuff, and you're finding right now you're living the underbelly of that kind of lifestyle. You're seeing what happens to families firsthand, and it's guess who it harms the most?
The baby.
The baby, because they sense that something's not just right. They sense that they're not with their mom, that they sense those things, and it gives them stress and anxiety. You feel that, oh, babies can't feel stress and anxiety. Sure they can. Okay, so let's get it together. And when I come back, and y'all come back to see me in January, on January the 9th at 2:00, and we'll do it on Zoom like today, we need to have some good reports, some clean drug screens. Dad, so you're telling me if we drug screened you today that you would test clean?
Yes, sir.
Let me tell you, we do two kinds of drug screens: urine screens that will test for any substance that you've used recently. Marijuana can stay in your system for up to a month unless you're a really hardcore user. It can be there longer. Most of the other street drugs don't stay in your system but 2 or 3 days. Unless you're
I'm not gonna lie. I'd fail for marijuana, but anything else I wouldn't fail for.
Marijuana is still illegal in Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And the other type of drug screen we do is a hair follicle, where they pull hair out from the back of your neck. If you don't have any there, they get it somewhere under your arm or other places you have body hair. And the residue from the street drugs that people use end up in the hair follicle. They're between the base of the hair and the root that's in your skin. And I don't know how the lab work actually happens, but it gives you a result. And that does not test for what you did yesterday, but it tests for the residue. Will tell them whether you've used those drugs within the last 2 to 3 months. That's why we do both tests. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So other than marijuana, you would pass both tests?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Teague?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Davis, would you pass both tests if you tested today? No, I didn't think so. Would you pass the urine test today? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you being honest, but listen, you're going to have to trust the people with defects and trust your family, but you may need more help than you're getting just being at your dad and stepmom's house. And there's no better time to get it than right now. Okay. So you talk to Ms. Flowers about that, and she'll be in touch with you. And let's don't let them fall through the cracks, Ms. Flowers. Let's try to
Do you need my phone number, Ms. Flowers?
Yes, I do.
Just try to front load some of these services and get mom started. That you listen, if you go to a serious residential, you won't be out before we come back to court, but you can meet with us on Zoom from where you are if you're in a residential. You're probably going to need to be at one that's 6 to 9 months at least, I would think, but I'm not an expert in that field. I have to defer. You may not be able to get into a long-term one. You may have to go to one that just try to get you sober over a month or two and then see how you do back home. Some people manage and some don't. Ms. Strock, would you draft me a short order that the stipulation and the conditions about supervised visits as agreed to by the parties, and that both parents to cooperate with DFACS and participate in services and abstain from drugs and submit to drug screens? All right. You parents got any questions about what you need to do?
No, but I can give Ms. Flowers this number now.
I thought she said she had it.
No, sir. She got Cass's number. She didn't get mine.
I know I thought she didn't get yours because she said she already had it, but I may have misunderstood.
I have a new phone number.
No, I don't have his number.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Teague.
I have it.
And Ms. Bice, we appreciate you looking after the child. If you should change your phone number or address or something, be sure to let DFACS know and let Ms. Schrock know. And you can
Yes, sir.
know, the clerk's office know.
Yes, sir.
Mail a copy of this notice about the next court date to everybody at the address that you've given me today in Commerce and Hampton. And Ms. Bice, we have your address and file. Okay.
Yes, sir. Oh,
All right, Camden.
he's trying to beat me up.
All right.
Say hey. No, you can't get it. Say hey.
What did you say? Thank you, Ms. Brinson, for helping out. And all right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Y'all take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.